This is Matt Russell, and welcome to the DailyFX forum.
So here are the four pairs that I will be discussing this evening: the Euro Pound, the Aussie Kiwi, the Pound Swiss, and the Euro Swiss. So let's go ahead and pull up the charts. The first chart is the Euro Pound. Not much has changed here. The two major support and resistance levels I have is the 87 figure here as resistance on top, and just beneath that 84 figure, which is this low print over here. Right now price is just beneath the 86 figure, so right in the middle of the range, towards the middle, the upper middle part of the range, if you will. So not much here in terms of imminent trade setup. I would look for short trades at that 87 figure, and I would look for long trades near that 84 figure. But again, prices are right in the middle of the range now, so nothing to do. But certainly prices can reach either the upper bounds or the lower bounds within the next 24 to 48 hours. So certainly keep your eye on that. The next chart is the Aussie Kiwi. Not much has changed here. Again, this is a channel line that I've been using for the past several reports. Still just waiting. If you did enter on the short trade recommendation up here, I would have exited that trade by now, and prices here are in the middle of the range as well. So what we should do is just wait patiently for prices to come down to the lower support line here, which I do have a little less confidence compared to this upper channel line here. With that being said, there's still a good chance that this level of support will hold, at least initially, maybe 150 pip bounce off that level. That's what I envision, with about 50 pips worth of risk. But again, we have to wait for the proper entry, which would be at the line, maybe just a few pips above it, with a stop maybe 50 to 75 pips beneath the line. The next chart is the Pound Swiss, and not much has changed here. I did mention the potential for a double top a few reports back, and maybe you did enter, maybe you didn't. I personally did not, because I was waiting for prices to come up with maybe another 10-20 pips. They never did, and that's trading and something you have to deal with. So moving forward now, if you don't have a position, I still like the short trade. It just represents too much risk, and this is a good example in terms of risk to reward. Like I do feel that prices will eventually meander down to this longer term support line. The problem is there's just way too much risk, because the only good location to place a stop would be above this high price point here, which is well above that 81 figure, and with prices now in the 78.40 area, it just represents too much risk. So it's a good learning opportunity, but not a good trading opportunity. And again, I would just wait patiently now, if you are flat, for prices to come down and test this support line. If you did enter on the short side, I would wait for another break lower, maybe another 100 pips or so, maybe cover in the 77.40 area, or even near the 77 figure on the short trade off this double top. The last chart is the Euro Swiss, and this is the longer term support line that I'm using for the pair. And let me zoom out here and give you a better view, and people who listen to my reports every day might be getting a little sick of this analysis, as I have been using the same lines here for a long time. So this is the longer term resistance line. Prices did break out above that longer term resistance line. We did have the back test. It wasn't very clean, as we did have a penetration and a few closes beneath the level, but all in all it was a successful back test. And the recent price action, let's zoom in a little bit here. You can classify this as an evening star reversal pattern, which could forecast a move down to this longer term support line. So moving forward now, with that being said, this has been confirmed. This is a classic and reliable reversal pattern. The only problem with evening star patterns is that there's just a little bit too much risk, especially here. Once you get the confirmation, prices are then well away from the stop location, which should be above this price point here. And in my opinion, actually, the proper stop would be above this price point here, which is this high on the left. So it's really up to your individual risk parameters. With that being said, this is a reliable sign of a reversal, so it's really up to you. Personally, I just would not enter this trade, as there is a little bit too much risk. I would like to see, with prices now 53.07, maybe another 50 pips or so higher, and at that point that might give us a more favorable risk to reward entry. If not, we might just simply miss the trade and look for the more high percentage trade, which is the test of this longer term support line. Again, my name is Matt Russell, and I also want you to stay tuned for a preview of the DailyFX forum. I want to go ahead and formally welcome everybody to the DailyFX forum. And I want to explain a little bit about the forum and the wealth of information that you can obtain from the forum, and how to go about doing so, how to find the things you want. So I'm just going to dive right in right now. And this is DailyFX.com. This is usually how I navigate my way towards the forums. Obviously, you know, it really depends on each individual how they access the forums, but this is how I go ahead and do it. I go dailyfx.com, go ahead and click on the forum on top, and this brings you to the DailyFX forum homepage, and this highlights the most recent posts with the subject. So if you see anything that you're interested in, you can obviously go ahead and click. What I like to do is click on the forums tab like this, and go ahead and view the forums in the normal, typical way that forums are set up. And here you go, there are a bunch of threads down here. And I'm just going to go ahead and go directly to the forum, the video you just viewed, where you viewed it. So let's go ahead. This is the DailyFX Instructor Tips Forum, Identifying Trades with DailyFX. That's me. And go ahead and click on the most recent post. So this is where you are right now viewing the video, although the video will be the video beneath this one that you're watching right now. So normally when I'm on the forums, and what I would do is just scroll up to the top. Certainly you can check out any of my previous videos, and you know, especially if I did mention them in the report or in the video that you're viewing at that moment. And what I will do is go ahead and click on the forums, and then look for the forums that I like, you know, that I have interest in. One of them would be the Euro-Dollar forum, and this, again, it's really up to each individual trader as to exactly how they want to use the forum. Personally, what I like to do, the first thing I do is I'll go to the Euro-Dollar thread, I'll go and click on the latest post. And what I'll do here is, and again, I just want to, you know, really emphasize this point. It depends on your exact mindset when you're viewing. And me as a trader, I have some experience. So what I do and how I personally use the forum is I go through and I'll read what people are saying about the euro, what their trade ideas are. I certainly, you know, try to maintain my own individual objectivity, and I really don't pay much attention to what other traders are saying in terms of my trading. I'm not going to certainly see something on a forum and then go jump into a trade, but what it will do, it will open my eyes to certain trading opportunities, maybe a certain line or a certain time frame that I haven't looked at before. So that's one way that I personally like to utilize the DailyFX forum. But certainly for newer traders, there are plenty of topics that you can go over. Let's say, you know, you might not be well versed in terms of certain currency pairs that you want to learn about. Scalping, you might not know what Elliott wave is. You can go ahead and click there and see exactly what you can, you know, what you can understand, what you might not understand, and then certainly feel free to ask questions about any of these topics that you have. Maybe the carry trade, maybe you have some questions about that, or the sentiment, the SSI, or the latest economic news, FX programmers, the webinars, MT4. Any questions about active trader, you can go ahead and click on those threads. So again, it's very free, very open, and there is a wealth of information here and just waiting for to be utilized. Again, this is Matt Russell. Thank you for listening.